Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bragan Thomas. Thank you very much for coming to the library today to see this, let me think, third installment of our summer play series, graciously coordinated and conceived by Matt Clark, the acting director of the library. Let's give Matt a round of applause. He deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. I'm afraid we don't have a program to hand out. Computer problems prevented that from happening, so I'll just tell you a little bit about our play. The title of the show is called The Thursday Guy. It's a one-act piece that will run for about a half an hour. I am the author, myself, Bragan Thomas, thank you, whatever, yes. I hope you enjoy the show. The cast, it's a two-person show, and the cast includes Bob Junker, who is a frequent performer at the Provincetown Theater and many other venues in his career, including Carnegie Hall. The other member of the cast is the equally wonderful David Myers, who has come up here all the way in New York City to appear in Red, now playing at the Payomit Theater, so do try and catch it before it closes. You've got another 2 weeks left for that show. And I'm very grateful to him for stepping into the part of Ryan de Villamont at the last minute when the actor previously scheduled to do the part, read the part could not do it. So, with that said, I will get out of your way, and I hope you enjoy The Thursday Guy.
Oh, I miss you too, honey. How's Junior? Oh, he did. Varsity. Now, how about that? I was never any good at sports when I was his age. He must get that from your father. Well, the hotel's fine. It's a lot of flocked wallpaper and crystal sconces. You'd love it. No, it went very well. That's why I couldn't get back to you before now. I'm still in the middle of a meeting. No, I think the shareholders are very pleased. You don't argue with a man who just handed you your dividend check. Hang on a second. What? No, sweetie, I was talking to a client who just walked in. No, I haven't made any big plans for dinner tonight. I'll just have room service send up something. What's that? I'm on my way to Frankfurt on Sunday night, honey, remember? I'll be there for a week, and then I have to be in Vienna for 2 weeks, and then it's Monaco for 10 days after that. What? No, not yet. After Monte Carlo, I have to fly back to New York, and then I get to come back to Toledo for 2 whole weeks before I have to fly to Singapore. I said, hold on a minute. No, honey, that was my client. Listen, Ruth, I have to go. Yes. Give him my love. Love you too. Talk to you later. Bye. Bye. Hello.
Hello. It's quite the schedule you have added here.
It's the usual. You feeling all clean now?
Yes, that was a nice shower, and these robes are real comfortable.
Yes, they are, aren't they? Ruth had me bring one back for her the last time I stayed here.
Ruth, is that your wife?
Yes.
You were on the phone with her just now.
Yes. Oh, wait, where are you going?
To get dressed.
We'll get dressed here.
What?
I'd like to watch you get dressed.
Most of my clients prefer it the other way around.
Oh, I like that too.
So did I. Well then, finish your drink.
Goodness. I'd never believe it.
Believe what?
You look like a high-powered executive or an Ivy League professor. That's a nice suit.
Thank you. I had it tailored for me in London and shipped over. You'd never believe what?
Well, the suit, the briefcase, the tie. Nice tie, by the way.
Hermenegildo Zegna.
Who?
Men's designer, Italian.
Oh, is that so? Well, I don't know a lot about clothes.
Obviously not.
What?
Finish what you were about to say. What don't you believe?
Well, if we hadn't spent the last hour doing what we did, I would never believe that you were a professional escort.
Is that supposed to be a compliment?
Well, I guess.
What did you expect me to look like? No, don't answer. The surprise on your face when you met me at the bar downstairs said it all. Ooh, I could tell you're thinking. He doesn't look too gay.
I wasn't thinking anything of the kind.
Oh, yes, you were.
Is this the first time you've met a client in this hotel?
No,
It isn't.
not by a long shot.
But this is such a nice hotel.
Oh, yes, it has quite a reputation with guys coming to town for a show or for conferences of the UN or unaccompanied businessmen from out of town who prefer discretion. Personally, I can't stand the decor myself. I like more clean, contemporary style. This Victorian furniture, I find it so uncomfortable, and all this dark wood depresses me.
Oh, I like dark wood.
Oh, you do you?
That really is a beautiful suit.
From these appointments, I find the executive look useful camouflage whenever I'm here. Listen, it's been wonderful meeting you, and thanks for everything, but I ought to get going.
Already? It's still early. We could have dinner sent up.
All right. So now you're looking for the full boyfriend experience? I should have known. Thursday guys are usually a little...
What?
It's Thursday, isn't it?
Yes.
Sorry, agency jargon. Thursday is actually our busiest day.
Is it?
Sure, it's usually a single traveler's first night in town. When you can arrange for pleasant company, why spend the evening alone?
Why, indeed.
That's our motto. Well, I'd have to cancel another appointment. May I use this phone?
You don't have one of your own?
I'm afraid your bill will have to be upgraded to a higher category. If I use the hotel phone, the agency will know that I'm, in fact, calling from the hotel.
Oh, I see.
May I?
Oh, certainly.
It'll only take a moment, and then you can let me
Oh,
get back to work.
Oh, you don't have to right
What's the matter,
now.
Tiger?
Listen, we don't have to do anything right now if you're not in the mood. I really don't have any plans for tonight, and mostly, I think I'd just like to...
Talk?
What?
You just like to talk?
Yes, that's right.
What about your executive friends?
Oh, please. If I have to endure another meal of bony chicken in the company of that florid Scotsman and his giggling will-o'-the-wisp wife, I'll go insane. These business dinners. I couldn't stop staring at the big holes, the big pores in his nose.
Sounds very tedious. Well, whether we talk or not, the agency's fee is the same.
Oh, that's fine, I guess.
All right. May I have the phone, please?
Oh, sorry, of course.
Thank you. Careful there. Thank you. Hello? Pamela? Hi, it's Ryan. Hello, darling. How are you? Busy tonight? Yes. As usual. Well, that's good, isn't it? Got to keep the client satisfied. Listen, darling, I'm at the Montfort. Yes, that's right. The Thursday guy. Yes. Well, the client would like to be upgraded to the full boyfriend experience. Yes. Tonight. Oh, who? The doctor. I don't know if I'm in the mood for an examination. Yes, I realize he's double fee. Triple? For what? He wants me to do what? No. Tell him I'm tied up elsewhere tonight. He'll like that. I'll see him when he's in town next time. Bye, Pamela. Oh, wait. You know what? Why don't you send Anthony over? He'll appreciate the doctor in any way. He needs a little bit more fantasy to perform than I do. Oh, you know that, do you? Well, you better not be running that boy on the side, Pam. Mom Abigail hates inter-office dating, remember? Okay. I will. I will. Oh, I'll be fine. This one's alright. Goodbye. There. That was easy. So what do you want to talk about?
That was quite a conversation.
I'm not supposed to discuss the agency with clients.
Are you always so direct?
Yes, I find it saves time.
Can I ask you a question?
You just did.
No, I mean, another question about something else.
What?
It was about you.
You want to talk about me?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I've never,
You've never what?
I never used the services of a professional escort before.
Could have fooled me.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you didn't exactly seem inexperienced just now, Tiger.
I didn't say you were my first experience. I said you were my first escort.
Well, no wonder you were so nervous at the bar downstairs. What, did you think I was going to flounce on in wearing Daisy Jukes, a wife beater, and combat boots? Or how about aspirin chaps and a jockstrap? And then everyone would know.
It's the middle of winter.
I was being sarcastic.
Is that so?
Hardy har har.
Ha ha. As a matter of fact, I was nervous at the bar. Like I said, I've never hired a professional before.
Why did that make you nervous?
Well, aside from the fact that prostitution is illegal.
I'm not a prostitute.
Oh, come on.
You said to yourself, I'm an escort.
What's the difference?
It is illegal to trade sex for cash, but it is not illegal to offer companionship for consideration. The agency set me up with a client who's usually a well-to-do businessman alone in a strange city. I meet him, be friendly, get him relaxed, find ways to entertain him in his off hours.
Oh, you certainly
But
do.
not with everybody.
What? But I
That's
thought...
the difference between being an escort and a hooker. Prostitute has no choice when it comes to pleasing the client, whoever he may be, but you and I are consenting adults. You pay the agency fee to match you with a desirable individual. It was understood that if we clicked, that was one thing. But if we didn't, well, then that was that, and a portion of your introduction fee would be refunded. Everything perfectly above board. We met in public, went to an art show, and came back here for another drink in your suite. What could be more natural? Nothing legal about it.
Did you really enjoy the exhibition?
Well, I know what I said earlier, but I'll tell you, post-impressionism isn't my thing.
I thought the one of the old boots was really amazing. So much
Van Gogh's
energy.
brushwork is too cluttered for my taste, although I know everyone admires it. I preferred the Toulouse-Lautrec drawings myself.
Those hookers?
They were actresses at the Moulin Rouge.
Yes, and?
I'm an actor too, you know.
I guess you have to be in your line of work.
No, I mean an actor, a real one.
You are? Have I seen you in anything?
Did you ever watch Remember Yesterday?
That awful soap opera? No. My wife watches it, though.
I had a big part in that a couple seasons ago.
As what, an escort?
Very funny. Sarcasm, right? No, I was not an escort. I was a maniacal kidnapper in skin-tight black leather from head to foot.
Goodness, no kidding.
No kidding. I had a 9-week story arc as a sexy bad guy who absconds with the local author's only child and holds the boy for a nice fat ransom.
That sounds like a juicy role.
Oh, it was. I've been on the lam for a long time, robbing banks and gas stations, sport myself, my coke habit, and my teenage girlfriend. And then I killed her father when he tried to stop me. He was a cop.
Oh, my.
Are you for real?
I just mean that that's one hell of a part.
Was, but it couldn't last. I had to get gunned down again so that they could have their stupid happy ending.
Too bad, these lousy writers
Ain't
today.
that the truth? And after that, I sat back and waited for the offers to come in.
And?
And then I got tired of playing violent psychos and direct-to-video fiascos. And it's years ago I did this dog food commercial.
You did?
Yeah, I played the butler to a sort of porcine aristocrat in some castle somewhere, and his dog was a Sean Fusset, and I had to feed the thing off a silver tray.
How did that work out?
The goddamn dog didn't like the food, and we had to open 20 cans before you'd even stick his nose into it.
I'm sorry.
And I still get residuals, though, sometimes.
Are you in anything right now?
No, competition's been tough the last couple of years. I do some extra work now and then, you know. Walk behind the star in the background, so no one notices. Train stations, airplane passengers, crowd scenes, anonymous stuff.
I was wondering, when did you start doing this?
I started with the agency about a year ago.
Is that all?
What do you mean?
I mean, you seem so
Hey,
experienced.
wait a minute.
I'm sorry, what I mean to say is, you didn't seem nervous at all when
What's
we
to
met.
be nervous about? I knew you were a client, not a cop. You were pre-screened.
Well, haven't you ever gone to meet a client and worried that, well, maybe they wouldn't like you?
I've never had that problem.
Well, bully for you. I wish I could say the same.
Oh, is that why you called the agency tonight?
What?
Well, you just said you worry that people won't like you. Is that why you need to hire a professional, no fear of rejection?
So, since when did you become my psychoanalyst?
That's part of my job description. So tell me about your wife.
I'd really rather not discuss her, if you don't mind.
Now there's a switch.
What?
Most of my clients don't want to do anything but talk about their wives or their husbands.
You have other married clients?
You are really that naive, huh? Almost all of my clients are married.
Oh.
That is why I'm still single. I've gotten to know the male sex pretty well these past few years, and believe me, not one of us can be trusted when it comes to fidelity.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, really? Well, you swore to be faithful to your wife, didn't you?
Yes, but
And what we were up to an hour ago, that wasn't being unfaithful.
I never cheated on Ruth with another woman.
But cheating on her with a man doesn't count.
I do not care to discuss my wife with a prostitute.
Excuse me, sir, I believe we have already settled on our terminology. And don't you hand me that knight in shining armor act about your wife either, since you appear to have no choice but to go outside what I am sure is a very nice big mansion with all the latest trimmings to get what she can't give you.
You leave Ruth out of this.
Well, what's the matter? She's not into sex, or is it just you?
Jesus, I don't need
Well,
this.
yes, but neither do I, okay? Guys like you really piss me off. Look at you, sitting there all smug and self-satisfied in your little bow tie, looking for all the world like butter when it melts in your mouth. I wish I could go tell Ruth in Toledo exactly what it is her husband likes to do.
Stop it.
No, I don't think I will. You think you own me? Suppose you can flash a fat wallet around, big man on campus. What right do you have to judge me? I wouldn't be here at all if it weren't for your nasty, furtive, cheating little desires.
Shut up, or I swear to God. I'll-
Shut me up.
I said shut up!
Right.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
You crazy son of a bitch!
I'm so sorry. Here, let me help you.
Just get away from me.
Oh God, you're bleeding.
Just get away.
No. No.
I'm getting out of here
no,
right
no,
now.
No, stop. You can't.
Why not?
You cannot walk out of here with blood all over your face. I can't think of a faster way for you to attract the wrong kind of attention.
No kidding.
Please don't go. I'm so sorry. I don't know what got into me. I haven't thrown a punch in 25 years. I don't know what could have possessed me, but please sit down. Let me get you something to clean up your face. Please.
You promise not to hit me again?
I promise. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It's all right. Damn, just lower your voice.
Oh my
Christ,
God.
you want the house detectives coming down on this?
Oh God, no. Oh my God, if that happened.
Shut up and give me a cold cloth or something. I don't want to get blood on my suit.
Let me wipe off your jacket.
Hurry up. 100% virgin Worcester wool gabardine. Go!
All right. I'm
Just
so
shut up.
sorry.
God. How do I get myself into this crap?
Ring. Ring.
Hello, Lawrence Olson's room. May I help you? He stepped out for a moment. May I ask who this is? Why, hello, Mrs. Olson. How are you this evening? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, ma'am. I hope you feel better soon. How's the weather in Toledo? Oh my goodness. Is the winter really that bad? I hope you haven't been going outside. No? Good. Sometimes it's a good thing to have to stay in bed, isn't it? Oh, yes, it's quite cold here, too. Oh, I assure you we're doing our very best to keep Mr. Olson as hot as we can. How's your son? Oh, he's been making a fire for you in your room every day. What a good boy. I understand he's an athlete? Yes, varsity now. You must be so proud of him. Oh, I would be too if I had any children. Yes, I'm sure Lawrence must be of great help to you. He's such a hard worker. Oh, you're well aware of that. Well, trust me, I am too. He works even harder than I can say. What? Oh, no, I've only got to know him quite recently. He certainly is a remarkable man. So forceful. We value him very highly indeed. His discipline, stamina, and control are truly a wonder to behold. Yes, I know it's getting late for business hours, but I promise we won't keep him too much longer this evening. What was that? Who's this speaking? Oh, my name is Mr. DeVilleman, Mrs. Olson. Your husband actually just came back in. Let me give you the phone. Thank you. Yes, it was lovely to talk to you too, Mrs. Olson. Goodbye. Here he is.
Thank you. Hello, honey. How are you? Oh, still. Well, what did the doctor say? Where's Larry Jr.? So you're alone now. When's he coming in? At 8 after practice. Well, I suppose... Oh, she can. Oh, that's wonderful. Tell your mother not to drive herself. Tell her to call a car and put it on my account. Listen, Ruth, I'm in the middle of a very important meeting right now, and I'm going to have to call you back, okay? When are you going to bed? Oh, too bad. I'm afraid I'm going to have to be up for a while tonight, honey. I'll call you in the morning, first thing. Yes, I promise. Good night. Yes, love you. Goodbye. I can't thank you enough for what you just did.
Don't be so self-centered. I didn't just do it for your sake. Neither my employers nor the proprietors of this hotel would benefit from any scandal. Besides, I do not in fact like trouble as much as it seems to follow me.
Oh, I'm so
Will
sorry.
you stop apologizing? What the hell is that?
A little hydrogen peroxide. Please sit down.
I said I was in the mood for an examination tonight. Don't tell me you're a doctor.
No, I'm a legal consultant for a hedge fund.
So you're a lawyer.
No, I passed the bar in Ohio, Illinois, and Florida, but I don't practice law anymore. Sorry.
It's all right. You wrap an ice cube in this?
Yes.
Thank
Here, let me, just until the swelling
What?
goes down. I've got this too.
you. What is it?
It's only a small bandage. You clocked yourself a good one when you fell on the couch.
Fell. You mean when I was assaulted?
Assault? You were threatening to blackmail
No,
me.
I wasn't.
Oh, yes, you were. You said you were going to call Ruth and tell her everything.
I didn't mean it.
I didn't mean to hit you. Now just sit back and relax.
I'm supposed to be the one keeping you relaxed.
Don't mention it.
How long have you been married?
27 years this May.
Damn. Did you meet cute?
No, I don't know if you could call it that. We met in high school on a blind date. She was so pretty back then. Always had her hair done and wore a skirt, even after all the other girls around her switched to jeans and let their hair grow wild down to their behinds. We got married while I was in college and moved to Chicago so I could go to law school. Ruth waited tables at night to pay the rent while I studied.
And after law school?
Well, after I graduated, we moved back to Ohio so she could be close to her parents. Her father was a World War II veteran who got shot up when he lit a cigarette one night on patrol. Her mother had to work to keep the major medications and a nurse until I got the practice established in Toledo to help pay the bills. That's what I promised Ruth before we got married.
I see. It's quite a lot of responsibility to take on.
Once I take on a commitment, I stick to it.
So I gather.
Then Ruth got pregnant.
Your son.
No, not my son. We had a daughter. She was 3 months premature. She lived for 24 hours.
That's a shame.
Thank you. The doctor said Ruth shouldn't try to have any more children, but she was determined. She wanted to give her parents a grandchild before her father died, you see. So eventually we had Lawrence Jr. It wasn't an easy pregnancy. Ruth was weak and anemic all the way through. The last trimester, she couldn't get out of bed at all. She was in labor for almost 72 hours. The boy came out feet first.
Breech baby.
Yes, that's right. Eventually they had to use forceps. She had lost a lot of blood, but her father held his grandchild in his arms before the old soldier took his last breath. Afterwards, Ruth's obstetrician told her she could never bring a third pregnancy to term. It would kill both mother and child. She's never really been well ever since. I've taken to her 1 million doctors, and still she can't seem to get out of bed.
I know the feeling. Sorry.
Don't be. You were right earlier in what you said.
What I said about what?
About being a cheat. I didn't want to admit it even to myself, but I suppose I am. Even so, I take my marriage vows very seriously. And when I go and see my wife in her sick room back home, I want to be able to look her in the eye and tell her there's no other woman for me, not in the whole world. And that's the truth.
I see. I think the bleeding stopped.
Let me have a look at you. No, I don't think you'll need stitches.
Thank God for that. No scars on my face, thank you very much. I'll tell them I cut myself shaving.
You want to know the irony of the whole situation?
Which situation?
The one with Ruth.
What is it?
I don't even get to see her very much these days.
Why not?
Well, between her medical care and her mother's expenses, plus my son's schooling and now his college costs starting next year. Not that I'm not very well compensated, mind you.
I'm sure you are.
Yes, I am, but no matter how much I earn, I still have to earn still more. I've been in New York for 12 hours. Before that, I was in London, and before that, Prague. I have to listen to clients whine about contracts in 5 different languages and in as many countries, and for as many weeks. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I have no idea where I am. 3 weeks ago, when I was in Prague, or was it Lisbon, I got out of bed and staggered to the nearest doorway and began to urinate into what I thought was the toilet.
And it wasn't.
I was standing in front of the sink in the kitchenette. I could have sworn the bathroom was on the right. And mind you, I was perfectly sober at the time.
How long have you been doing this?
What, relieving myself in the nearest sink during a jet lag
travel
haze?
schedule.
Oh, that. I stopped counting 10 years ago.
Oh, you really do have a lot of stamina. So how long did you say you were going to be in town?
I'm flying out of JFK Sunday night.
I see.
Yes, I suppose you're booked for the weekend already.
Well, I do have a few appointments, but
Surely not all the time.
no.
Well, I have some meetings to cope with over the next 3 days, but how can I reach
You
you?
can call the agency whenever you want.
I mean, without going through them.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I can't look. Even if I might want to meet you outside of a work arrangement, it's impossible.
What? Why not? Is it me?
Oh God, no, it's not at all. If I get caught having a relationship with a client off the books, I have to pay the agency $5,000.
You what?
Well, don't you see? If a client and escort become a personally involved, the agency stands to lose money, sometimes a great deal of money, depending on the client's preferences. And right now, I'm afraid I don't have $5,000 to spare.
Well, what if you tell them you can't or won't pay them?
That's completely out of the question. But you don't know what these people are capable of. It happened to my friend, Jean-Louis. He fell in love with a client, started seeing him in his off hours, and they found out.
How?
Well, it was simple. The client stopped scheduling his regular bookings because he was spending all his time with Jean-Louis. They knew where Jean-Louis lived, so they had him watched. And when they were able to confirm to their satisfaction that their now ex-client was occupying himself with Jean-Louis at night, they ordered Jean-Louis to pay up. He refused, so they cut his face open. First they broke his nose, and then they cut up his face.
Oh my God!
Once Jean-Louis wasn't so good looking anymore, his lover abandoned him. You understand?
Oof. Ryan de Villamont. Is that your real name?
First one is. There's a bunch of different surnames. What about you? Are you really Lawrence Olson?
Ever since I was born. Well, Ryan, whatever your name is, it seems to me that $5,000 isn't even a fraction of what you're worth.
What?
How about this? Since I've already booked you for an overnight stay, tomorrow morning you can call, who did you talk to earlier?
Pamela. She handles my bookings.
Well, tomorrow morning you will call this Pamela and you will tell her to put $5,000 on my bill. And she will cancel every single one of your appointments for the rest of the weekend because you are otherwise engaged with me.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am. Listen, I've had a very busy month ahead of me, and I've got another trip to New York coming in about 6 weeks, and I'd like to see you again.
Really?
Yes, really.
Is that an order?
Yes, it is.
But
What's the matter? Don't you believe me?
I do. But it's,
Is it rent? Don't you have enough to get by until I return to New York?
you know, can we talk about that tomorrow just in case you sleep on it and change your mind?
I'm not likely to do that after I sleep on it with you. I
Stubborn.
warn you, I'm a very stubborn man.
How about persisting instead?
That'll do.
It's a nice quality to have, Lawrence, but what about Ruth?
Oh, I have no intention of abandoning my family. Let me make that quite clear.
Oh my God, no. I would not want you to do anything like that. Let me tell you something. In my life, I've learned to take my moments of happiness where I can find them, and I'm grateful for whatever time Ruth Olson's husband can spare for me. You know, I'd like to meet her someday.
No? Maybe you will. Someday.
And can I ask you another question?
Go ahead.
How old's your son now?
He'll be 18 in March.
18 years, and all that time you really haven't
Haven't what?
been with anybody, boy or girl, after you and Ruth started sleeping in separate bedrooms.
Not before today.
No kidding.
No kidding.
You know something, Lawrence?
What?
I don't think I believe you.
Well, if you really must know, I do not regard having occasional encounters with total strangers as being with someone.
And what kind of encounters are these? Back rooms, toilets, truck stops, hotels, libraries? I was only joking.
I'm sorry, it's just that, well, I'd rather not get into the specifics of that sort of thing right now. Thank you very much.
Insist. So when you contacted the agency today,
Yes?
why did you pick me?
Maybe it's because I like your face.
Well, you could have fooled me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
All right, and putting all anonymous hookups aside, tell me, who was your first anyone? Come on.
It was at summer camp. I was only 15. His name was Bobby. He could swim faster than any other boys in the whole camp. He was a year older than me, and I used to like to watch him play volleyball. Goodness, his legs. One day he was coming off the field, and to my great surprise, he noticed me. I had an aisle seat. Our eyes met, and he sort of smiled sideways, and then he sort of, punched me on the shoulder, sort of in a friendly way, of course.
Of course.
God, I started to follow Bobby around like a dog.
Who wouldn't?
On our second summer, we bunked together. Late one night, I remember the buzzing of the cicadas and the roar of the waves against the beach while we lounged on our bunks with our forbidden beer. I must have fallen asleep. The next thing I knew, Bobby was slipping into my bed. He stayed there for the rest of the summer.
Wow.
Mind you, we never talked about what we did during the day or with anyone else. When camp ended that year, Bobby went off back east to go to school. We exchanged letters for a while, but then that fall I met Ruth and got married. But no matter how hard I tried, I could never stop thinking about Bobby and those warm summer nights. God, that seems so long ago now.
You are too much.
Well, so are you. I still can't believe I took a swing at you. Forgive me?
All right. It was kind of my fault. I mean, I went out of my way to provoke you. I did. It was very unprofessional of me.
How so?
Well, I'm not supposed to become emotionally attached to my clients. Not in this industry. Love is strictly for amateurs.
Then I think I'd rather you were an amateur than a professional.
Me too, but there is one very important difference to remember.
What's that?
A professional knows how to listen.
End of play.